guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? We're back. I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime. Come on in. Hit the like button, y'all. Subscribe if you haven't. And get a membership if you can. Good to see you guys. What's up? If you're just here and you're making dinner, or you're chatting, or you're chilling, or you're falling asleep to me talking, come in. Hit the like button. Show the support. Share this with your community and your friends, guys, because I gotta tell you, today is not just a typical, it's not typical at all. All right. This is one of the largest child trafficking rescues in U.S. history. Hashtag dragoneye. That's what they call this operation. And 60 missing children were saved in Florida. And not just that, guys. And I woke you up, didn't I? Jennifer, I woke you up. You were falling asleep, and I said, what's up? It's Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Yes. Also, guess what? And thank you, Carrie. You guys come in before I get to this, because today it's like a 3-for-1 day. We're reporting on Florida trafficking, racketeering, and you got it, red rum, or we call that the M word. Okay, so we've got 3 for the price of 1 today. And yesterday I was so caught up in the stream, I forgot to give away the Foxy box. Now we have 2 Foxy boxes to give away to say thank you for hitting 25,000 subscribers last night. So yes, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Anybody else that knows, you know, we hit over 25,000 last night. So awesome. Now, this is just right now, AI Henry. I'm going to get started on this real soon, but many things happen in Florida. One being the Madeline Soto case, Madeline Soto, Stephen Stearns, which is probably going to be the case of the decade, right? It's going to be of the decade. We had Casey Anthony, and now we've got Jennifer Soto. All right, so come on in. I want you guys to chill out, relax, buckle up, because you know what? Today we're talking about a lot, and I'm going to show you a lot. All intertwined with this stuff, guys. The 60 missing children, which you say a prayer that they get the help they need to follow through with what's happened to them. But not only that, Sheriff Marcos Lopez is still sitting in jail, and now his wife is arrested. I'm going to show you that quick clip of her being actually arrested, guys. And then I'm going to show you a 2-minute clip of Marco and his wife being arrested for racketeering. And in between all of that, guys, as they're talking about child trafficking rescue, they also throw in a pretty bad killer that dismembered his girlfriend. They're going to show this guy, and they're going to talk about him, and then I'm going to show you what he did to this girl. So we've got a 3-for-1, folks. We've got maybe even more. 60 missing children saved, child trafficking rescue, biggest one in U.S. history, and we got Marcos Lopez on the chopping block with his wife, and a red rummer that dismembered his girlfriend. And this is all intertwined into this case, into Florida. It's all just together, guys. So what's up? If you're from Florida, good to see you. All right. And whoever, if anybody's birthday is today, let me know. Happy birthday. We're going to give away 2 Foxy boxes, one that I was supposed to do yesterday and one for the 25,000 members today. Good to see you guys. I'm doing very well. Operation Dragoneye. Let me show you this. We've got so much to get into today. All right. I'm just going to start off with this and just tell you what is going on. So many of you guys sent me messages, and you know it's not going to be a boring show when you come watch the news with Guilty of Crime, right? You're never going to be bored because I'm constantly like, hey, wake up, buckle up, what's up, hit that like button. All right, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. That's all relevant. Carrie, I was marked safe from Florida. All right, guys, I'm glad to hear that. Miss Lady J, thank you. I'm still working on it, but thank you. All right, Mom Shack hair, live outside of Orlando, so hot. Sadie's mama, much love. Krista, good to see you. Teresa, always a pleasure. Mary, good to see you as well. Thank you. I wish you guys were local to California, like Carrie. I wish Carrie was here so I can say, Carrie, just do my hair. I don't have to worry about toning it. All right. So what's up? Thank you, mods, for being here, supporting the channel. Lynn, shout out to you. So proud of you, have overcome. Happy Pride. Thanks for your class act. You're welcome. California loves Vermont. All right, Operation Dragoneye. We've got a big show today, guys. It's huge. All right, not only intertwined with the cases, but this is where the Madeline Soto case is. And we have a lot to do in the Madeline Soto case. One love, Leanne. There you go. 2 Foxy boxes. I'll leave it at that. Let's get into it. Operation Dragoneye. Let me make this a little bigger, case you want to see this instead of just my face. All right, so I'm going to play the video in a minute. A look at the child recovery operation. All right, now somebody asked, when did this happen, Jay? This was published June 23rd, 2025 at 4:57 p.m. Today is June 24th. So this isn't even a full day. All right, so the brief. The U.S. Marshals led a 2-week operation with local law enforcement to recover 60 missing children from across Tampa Bay region, Florida. If you know and you're from there, then you know. Now, Fox 13 was granted access to this operation as they searched for one particular 15-year-old girl. Remember, they rescued 60. All right. Many of the children on the task force lists are in foster care or have run away multiple times. Now, this reminds me of Emily Pike. So imagine Emily Pike, had we not seen her being dismembered and her life gone, there's a possibility she could have been trafficked. Runaway children. All right, runaway children and children in foster homes are more likely to be trafficked or to be kidnapped than any other child. So, you guys, let's get that message to the children that are running away. Let them know you running away could cost you your life. It doesn't matter what problems you have with who. Don't run away. Get some help so that you're not trafficked. You don't want to be trafficked. Okay, so that's a big message for any child, any teenager, anybody that is in a foster care system or in the justice system going in and out of homes. All right, now Tampa, Florida is an unprecedented mission. U.S. Marshal led a 2-week operation to recover 60 missing children. The U.S. Marshal Service, in partnership with agencies across Tampa, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and St. Petersburg, launched Operation Dragoneye, guys, an intensive recovery mission targeted critically missing and endangered children. All right. Now, Fox 13, Genevieve Curtis, we're going to talk about this. She was granted access. We'll see this in a bit. The mission for Operation Dragoneye was from motels and gas station parking lots to alleyways and rundown neighborhoods. The search for missing children leads investigators into the shadows of everyday life. You and me live everyday life, and these people could be right next door, especially if you're in Florida. All right. So it says, "Can I give you my number in case you see her?" An officer asked a neighbor. All right. Fox 13. Since 2015, the marshals, best known for tracking fugitives, have been applying their tactical expertise to local missing children. And in Tampa, the work is hands on and deeply personal. Now, the search is what they're talking about. Deputy U.S. Marshal Paul, I'm going to say Saras, and Tampa Police Detective Tony Ortiz, as they followed up on leads in West Tampa, they were searching for Paola, a 15-year-old girl who ran away from her mother's house. Please, kids, Elisa Petrov, Paola, please don't run away. The consequences are much greater than you think. All right. Now, they say we have serious concerns that there may be exploitation occurring. One of the detectives explained, adults don't just take care of other people's kids for free. All right. I want you guys to remember that. Okay. I want you to remember that. Adults don't just take care of other kids or other people's kids for free. There's nothing for free. And if you run away or your child runs away, it's more likely that they're going to be kidnapped and trafficked than not. Okay? It's not normal, it's not right, but that's how it goes down. And no one wants to take care of someone else's children for free. And that's the message. Don't run away. Know what's happening. Be aware, guys. Big picture view, many of the children on the task force list are in a foster care system or have run away multiple times, like Emily Pike, right? Law enforcement warns they're often lured into dangerous situations, then exploited in exchange for food, clothing, and shelter. And you know what they're trading for: food, clothing, and shelter, don't you? SEX. And it's not even SEX because it's RAPE. They're trading their bodies for a place to sleep, for food. All right. They're groomed. They're groomed and then they get to work, because if they don't, then they will be abused and then ultimately their life will be taken. Right. So, why you should care? Law enforcement is painfully aware of what can happen when a missing child or children slips through the cracks. All right. So, earlier this year, 16-year-old Miranda Corset was reported missing from her grandmother's house in Gulfport. She was later found red-rummed and dismembered. Okay. So, we're going to talk about this one as well. This is intertwined in the case. Miranda Corset is now intertwined in this trafficking case, and I'm going to tell you why. They were looking for her in search of what they're doing here, and she was found red-rummed and dismembered by a 35-year-old man that has been charged with her killing. All right, now this guy made it to Grizzly True Crime, and she showed interview footage of him confessing. I do have some of that footage, not from Grizzly, from a news source, right? So while looking for these children, they found a dismembered girl, 16 years old, getting taken advantage of, and then her life taken. In 2022, 14-year-old Nelexa Alexander ran away from home. Days later, she was found shot to death near East Tampa. Her accused killer is now facing trial. These cases fuel urgency, which you guys know, behind operations like Dragoneye. So everything today that I put on my thumbnail is intertwined in this case: trafficking, racketeering, and the big M word. Okay, so all of that goes today along with what we're doing. I don't know what's wrong with people, but this is the harsh reality. Okay, we can't get away from that harsh reality because it is what it is. We can't change it, but we can do operations like Dragoneye and recover 60 children. All right. So we're going to see this telling a detective, where is she? Let me go. Inside the house, Paola's hiding under the bed. Okay. They're talking about knocking on the door, the brothers, juveniles under the bed. Deputy Marshal says now we'll continue to investigate to determine if charges should be filed. Now, 2 adult men in the home claim they didn't know Paola was a minor. At this point, no arrests have been made, but investigators said that could change. All right. Now, they say it's a mission with personal meaning. What they're saying, before heading out that morning, Detective Ortiz told his approach, I'm going to talk to her mostly as a father. I want to hear her out. Hours later, Ortiz sat with Paola and gently told her, you have to live your childhood. Your mom wants you back. All right. We got to be gentle with our children. If they do run away, be gentle. Don't beat them or lock them in their room because they're going to run away again. You got to be gentle, guys. I know it's hard when you're upset or if a child disobeys you or runs away, but if you're not gentle, they're going to run away to somebody that's going to be even worse. Okay, this has happened for years, of course, but we're talking about it right now. Right? There's so much more to get into today. This is just the very first bit as I waited for people to roll on in. Right? So we're going to start with what the heck happened today. What are we even talking about here? Let's see, and then we'll dig in deep. And in between all that, we're going to show things, and we're going to show you who's been trafficked, who's been their lives taken, who's been what. All right. So let's pull up the next bit. Good to see you guys. Thank you for, this is the wrong one. I'm sorry. Wrong one. I just put that one on. I was trying to see chat, but it's good to see you guys. Thank you guys all. So many people sent me emails saying, Jay, did you see what happened? This is the largest child trafficking rescue in U.S. history, and it's in Florida, and thank God 60 children are coming home. All right, good to see you, Millie, my friend. Rosie, how you doing? You guys, Synth says it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And if you guys have the means to support the channel, like, subscribe, share, and get yourself a membership, or you can gift memberships. But don't forget, in order to be entered into today's drawing for a Foxy Box, you have to be like, subscribed, drop some comments, and we'll let you know. I think you do need to be a member. All right, we're gonna get to it right now. AI Henry, hold on. All right, now we're ready to go. Let's go. We're going to answer all the questions you have and even more. All right.
Operation Dragoneye, a massive 2-week operation that has led to the rescue of more than 60 missing children across our region, many of them victims of human trafficking. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser has more on what officials are calling the largest child recovery mission in U.S. history.
This is what it's all about. This is why we do the job.
In a show of collaboration unlike anything before it, more than 100 personnel from 20 agencies joined forces in what's being called the most successful child recovery effort in U.S. history.
These kids have been through painful, disastrous situations, but at least today we've rescued them and we now can work towards recovery.
Using intel from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Operation Dragoneye led to the recovery of 60 juveniles, ages 9 to 17, many of them missing, some trafficked.
Now, remember, a lot of these things are blurted out, but when a child goes missing and is found dismembered, then you're going to see a picture of that child, okay? So that's what's going to happen. This case is unfolding right in front of you, and it's unfolding right in front of me. It just happened. So we're going to get to all the details. We're going to watch the press conference, and we're going to also see the Florida man that dismembered a little girl that ran away. We're also going to see Marco Lopez's wife get arrested for racketeering. We got trafficking, racketeering, and red rum today. All right. All three of those things intertwine with this case. All right.
All considered in danger.
We were able to identify at least 26 children recovered who had been previously reported missing to NCMEC.
The number is not just a statistic. It represents a life and a future that was given one more chance.
The effort also resulted in the arrest of 8 suspects now facing.
So it's great that they show the suspects so we can see who they are. Again, yes, trigger warning. Jules, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. A lot of people are telling me that this is in their neighborhood, and I do wonder. Write that in chat for me. Let me know if you saw them come out and bust these people. Were you part of that? And Foxy Amazon, thank you so much for gifting the Guilty of Crime 420 membership in memory of your brother gone too soon. All right, I appreciate you guys so very much. Let's go. Look at these people.
Charges from child endangerment to human trafficking.
Because experience tells us if the offenders are not apprehended,
Choo-choo.
they will reconnect with these children.
Yep.
They are, in my opinion, leeches.
To ensure the children received immediate and long-term care, recovery hubs were set up, counseling, resources, and shelter at places like the Children's Home Network in Tampa.
And maybe today will be the day that young person decides to make major changes in their life. Maybe today is not that day. But today, at least, that day of recovery, that day, we know that they are safe.
Officials hope Operation Dragoneye also sends a message that Florida is committed to arresting and keeping those who would exploit or traffic vulnerable children behind bars. In Tampa, Eric.
All right, now we're going to get into what prompted this, why they did this, and this is pretty good for 2 weeks for them to get something like this in 2 weeks, you guys. I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround. That's a lot of resources when you think about it. All right. So now we're going to get into the Operation Dragoneye and what it means. Hopefully it's going to answer more questions for you. I think the press conference will quite a bit, but this is going to show you that when you run away, when a child runs away the first time, they're more likely to run away a second time and a third time, second and third time. And who knows what's going to happen. All right. Lindy Girl says, oh, Lord have mercy. This is shocking. They need to stop smacking hands and putting these monsters away. They need to put them away longer or they're going to connect with the victims again. And you got to remember, as a parent, please, 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 I beg you to be as soft, gentle, and understanding as you can. If a child was to run away or how you have issues with them, please treat it lightly, because by you pushing them away, you know, the old school way, I remember the old school way, you get your ass whipped or handed to you. That doesn't work anymore. We have instant communication now, and children will go where somebody dangles something shiny. So please, 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 I beg you, use a soft hand, understanding, go to therapy, whatever, but let's not make this happen over and over. Let's try to avoid that. All right. So this is the operation. We're going to see why they did this, what they found, who. All right, let's go a little bit more forward.
U.S. Marshals led a 2-week operation to recover critically missing and endangered children. The Marshals, along with local law enforcement agencies, were able to locate the missing kids ages 9 to 17. And police also made 8 arrests.
Yep.
The number is not just a statistic. It represents a life and a future that was given one more chance.
And we are giving you an inside look. Fox 13's Genevieve Curtis spent a day with the Marshals.
All right, now this part is very intriguing. You guys are going to find this intriguing. You're going to learn a bit more. And since this is in your neighborhood, folks, you'll see what they're doing with your tax dollars and the resources. All right, so let's get that message out there. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's empty. Ali Callie, their higher A people. I'm not really sure what that says. I don't understand, but thank you for 8 people behind this. All right, Jay, during a hard time, my daughter and I could not really communicate, so I got her massage appointments, and let me tell you, it did open her up more because she didn't like to speak. Exactly. Use a soft hand, guys. The old school way is not doing it. Always on empty. 72. I'm assuming it's your birthday. Happy birthday. All right. Left there December 1st. Never heard much about. Well, guess what? Florida has a huge crime rate, along with pedos, whatever you want to call it. All right. There's a lot of bad people out there that will dangle shiny things in front of you and then snatch you up, groom you, and get you working. All right. So let's look at this Operation Dragon so we can see what they did to bust these people in 2 short weeks.
And a team of detectives on the front lines of a missing child investigation. What she witnessed, you'll see for yourself. Here's an exclusive look of that search.
Of course. Yes.
The search for a missing child takes investigators to all kinds of streets, alleyways, and motels.
Can I give you my number? So you call me, you see her?
Since 2015, the U.S. Marshals, known for their ability to find wanted fugitives.
Now, you guys are right. I see everybody saying this happens all the time. It's been happening. And I know people get disenchanted and disheartened because we don't always talk about this, guys. We talk about one case and one thing while other things are happening with CPS, foster care. They fall short in Florida on that side. So many of those people that are failing, CPS is failing them. Guess what? When CPS fails a parent or a child, they also end up on the streets. So there's a whole failure in the system. We're only talking about one part of it. And that one part of trafficking also relates to money, racketeering, and death. All right. All three of those come together.
Have been using their investigative skills to recover critically missing kids.
You got a minor in your house, bro.
Over the course of 2 weeks, the Marshals teamed up with detectives in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and St. Pete, as well as Pasco County, to find kids in dangerous situations. We joined up with the Tampa team, made up of TPD detectives from the Special Victims Unit and U.S. Deputy Marshal Paul Cherasi.
First one's a 15-year-old female. It's been missing since the beginning of April. We got some leads that she might be in the West Tampa area, so we're going to be following up there today, seeing if we can locate her.
The team has been looking for a missing 15-year-old girl. We're calling her Paula.
We believe that they're in a company with adults who are...
Okay, so this is the article that I read to you about Paola, and that's looking for her individually, and they're going to talk about looking for the other girl that was later found dismembered. All right, now, Jules to Kelly, I hate to say this, but I've looked into and I've done my research heavily on the CPS operations in Florida, and I have to tell you, CPS contracts most of their work out to people that are not background checked and underqualified. Okay, so if that tells you anything, that will tell you what a big part of your problem is. All right, not yours, but Florida.
Aiding them, hiding them, providing them resources such as food and housing.
Detectives say she ran away from her mom's home, and the task force is concerned for her safety.
Yes,
Common sense would dictate that adults who are not relatives do not take care of other people's children for nothing. They're getting something in return.
There you go.
So due to that, we have serious...
There you go, guys. Nobody's going to take care of someone else's child without something in return. Where's Jennifer Soto at, guys? Jen Soto, the evil potato, where are you? You're not in handcuffs, but you handed over Madeline Soto to Stephen Stearns to take care of for a hefty ass price. All right. People don't take care of other people's children for nothing. Most people don't anyway. The good-hearted people don't. All right. So I want to say that. Where are you? Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. She handed her child over to anybody that would take care of her, and look at what happened to little Maddie. All right. So I want you to know that this goes with everything that I'm talking about. All right. And thank you guys for all the compliments. I love you guys.
There's concerns that there may be exploitation occurring.
Be in that area?
Okay.
So do that first. The team got some good leads from a West Tampa neighborhood the day before and decide to keep working that area.
All right, so yeah, a couple blocks north.
Detective Tony Ortiz has been in contact with Paula's mom.
And that's very concerning for any parent. And she's been gone since April this time. She hasn't run away that many times before.
They rely on information from the community, knocking on doors and just talking to people.
It's the girl they're looking for right here.
We just want to take her back to her mom, man.
I give him my number.
Next, we check a corner store that has a camera outside. There's no video of her, but someone recognizes Paula's photo.
But she's been here by herself.
The task
Thank
force
you.
says many of the children they're looking for during this operation are in the foster care system, and many find themselves running from something or towards something, but oftentimes get into a more dangerous situation.
Just because a young person ran away or just because someone asked them to leave, it doesn't make them any less at risk.
At a command center, partner
It makes them more at risk when you kick your child out of the house or they run away. And somebody asked earlier about the children that were rescued. Did any of them come home? Damn right they did. 60 missing children, in fact, were saved by Florida in Operation Dragoneye. So you're damn right. Today we have good news. Today, 60 children were rescued and sent home to their parents or somebody that could take care of them. All right. And they're using resources to help them to get better. You're going to hear all that today. All right.
agencies are gathering information and working leads on the missing kids to then pass on to the officers in the field.
We know that when kids are missing, kids are at risk.
Dr. Catherine Gomez is the director of human trafficking intervention for the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. She says trafficking happens in every county and every city in Florida, where kids are exploited by adults in exchange for food, clothing, or shelter.
There are kids from here, born here, raised here. There are kids being exploited right here in Florida by fellow local people.
This operation, Operation Dragoneye, started with a list of around 60 to 80 missing kids. When we visited the command center 8 days in, the count showed more than 40 had been found.
Look at that, guys. They're literally just, I was going to put a picture of that on my thumbnail, and I said, I don't think they're going to be able to see that. I really wanted to highlight this for you. I love that they were just in there kicking ass and taking names. All right. Now, I don't know what they do the other 340 days of the year. I hope they're working on this stuff, but this is pretty successful. They actually had 46 on the board, but 60 recoveries and more arrests than 8, obviously, which we're going to get into when we get into the presser. All right. So thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button, guys. Bratty, Stolen Spirits, good to see you. And then share this with your community, either now or when we're done. And don't forget to hit that like.
Been worried about this kid. We've wondered where they've been and what they've been up to.
Gomez says after recovery, they work through next steps, which could include launching investigations into child abuse or other criminal investigations and finding a safe place for the child. Underscoring this urgent search for these kids is what can happen if they aren't found. This year, 16-year-old.
All right, and I put this girl on the cover of this today because this girl was dismembered. Her life was taken and dismembered. And I see the mods in chat. I love you, Synth. I always appreciate, but I do have it written down that Operation Dragoneye was a landmark multi-agency law enforcement initiative. This operation spanned 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, I'm not saying they didn't work on it for 2 years or 4 years or 5 years, but this operation was 2 weeks, and it reached its conclusion with a press conference on June 23rd, which was yesterday. All right. Now, the announcement marked the culmination of an intense period of efforts aimed at finding children reported as critically missing. So whether it happened over a span of 2 years or 3 or 4 or 5, 2 weeks, and they knocked out all of this. And this girl is no longer alive. She was one that they were looking for, and they found her, but not alive. I'm going to show you the piece of trash that did that to her after this, just so you can see and give you a little bit of what happens when someone does run away and get trafficked or anything else, kidnapped, what have you. Okay. So this girl didn't come home and she's no longer alive.
Year-old Miranda Corset went missing. Gulfport police say she was chronically running away from her grandmother's home.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
There it is.
Arrested 35-year-old Stephen Gress for a.
All right, there it is. If you recognize this guy's face, I recognize the face. I saw it on Grizzly recently. He was interviewing with the police, and he confessed. He confessed to dismembering this girl, like I talked to you about. Hey, I went to Five Guys today and got myself a milkshake. It was good. That's how this guy talks about what he did to the girl before, Miranda. Okay. So yeah, she went through a lot, I bet. And he didn't even care. No remorse, no gives a shit anywhere. All right. I know you guys saw this guy. I'm going to show you a little bit more after this before we get into everything else. All right. I recognize his disgusting face too. And I said, I got to bring this to light because this is what happens to children like Emily Pike and Miranda Corset when they run away. All right.
Allegedly beating her to death and then dismembering her body. In 2022, 14-year-old Alexia Alexander was found shot to death in East Tampa after running away from home.
Damn,
44-year-old Ronnie Walker was arrested for her murder. So the marshals know after 3 months, it is critical to find Paula.
One of the comments that we got from one of the guys on the street was that she's going to end up hurt or dead.
Yep, we might just suit up.
A few hours into the search, a new
Yep.
lead comes in. They have a location for her. The task force approaches the home.
This is great. I love that they got this on camera. And I'm not sure if I see people talking about pizza and stuff in here. And thank you guys all for being here. I love that you guys are interacting and chatting right now. And I just want to put the information. I don't want you guys to think, and I don't even mean to be harsh if I like, someone said you like my blunt comments. It's just me wanting to get the story straight. And although something like this happens over years, I think it's fantastic that it happened over a 2-week span and they recovered so many children. So yeah, trigger warning for myself, for you guys, and everybody else in chat. I do try to read your comments as I'm talking and watching and doing, but I can't always see everything at once. So I do apologize if sometimes I come off too crass at you or anybody, especially my mods. I apologize. Mods do so much for me all day, and I don't mean to come off harsh. I just want to set things straight. Linda, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker and microwave cheese. My girl. Love Jay, mods, and chat. Bless you all. And hashtag arrest Jen Soto. There's the face that's going to stay on microwave cheese until Jen Soto is arrested. And no, I don't sugarcoat it because I don't have a lot of time to get to what's happening. So I don't want misinformation put out there, right? I don't want misinformation. So, all right, let's keep going. We got a lot today.
Tampa police. Looking for her. The information that she's here. Yes, sir.
Bro.
Tavian's here. What's your name, sir? She's here.
We know she's here.
We know she's here.
Hold on.
We know she's here. Let us in, dude.
Hold on. Don't close the door. Don't close the door.
Just have her come outside, bro.
That's it. That's all we want.
That's all we want.
We don't care about anybody else in the house.
And when detectives search inside, they find Paula.
We searched the house, knocked on the brother's door, brother answered, and juvenile was hiding under his bed. So right now we're just gonna follow the investigation, see if we can make any arrests.
Now that's what grooming is, folks. This girl that was being trafficked was hiding under the bed. Now, instead of coming out because police were there and they're going there to rescue her, she was hiding under the bed. All right. That's grooming right there. That's grooming at its finest. If the police are coming to rescue you from this awful life where you're being used and abused, you want to go with them. This little girl didn't even know better. She was hiding. All right. So 60 children today or yesterday were recovered.
Arrest and see where we can go from there.
2 men at the home claimed they didn't know she was underage. And at this time, the task force doesn't have enough to make an arrest. But they say the investigation will continue.
We need to show to the court that he knew she was a minor. We're not there yet.
When we started this day, Detective Tony Ortiz shared with me his approach when he finds the teens.
And I'm going to talk to her mostly as a father. mostly as a father figure, not as a law enforcement officer. And I'm gonna hear her out
Exactly.
and see what she has to say.
And a few hours later, that is exactly what he was doing with Fowla.
And your mom wants you back. You have to live your life you have to live your childhood. Don't skip on childhood.
No.
You're gonna miss out.
The next stop will be a special unit at St. Joseph's Hospital where Paula can receive
Yeah,
physical
right.
and mental health services and the resources to perhaps find a
Hey, there's some eye candy for you ladies just to lighten up the mood. I know we're talking about happy birthdays and pizza. We're also talking about 60 missing children were saved in Florida in the largest child trafficking rescue in U.S. history. All right. Those men definitely knew that she was underage. That is a huge lie. It is amazing that they found all these kids. And not only did they find them, guys, but they're showing us the resources that they're using to make sure that they get some kind of, we're going to call it rehab, all right? Therapy, whatever rehab it is that they need. And they're going to need a lot, all right? They are going to need a lot. Just like Alyssa Petrov. I bet you they're full on going to therapy, but there's the eye candy for you, okay? Take a look. I'll leave him on the screen for a minute. There you go. Yes, there you go. There you go. I don't know if he has a ring on, but we'll just pretend like he doesn't, all right? Indy Isham, good to see you, my friend. Maybe where she came from was worse, but nobody should be put through that. And if she wasn't so heavily groomed, she would want the police to come get her so they can give her the proper resources to get away from wherever she came from. But I do hear you, and that's what we need to do to get to the bottom of these things. Gang, guilty of crime. What's up? Yeah, all these hot cops. What's up with that, huh?
safer path forward.
A lot of them don't have any hope. And that's what we're also doing with this operation is trying to instill hope.
In Tampa, Genevieve Curtis, Fox 13 News.
Well, today, Genevieve also spoke with U.S. Marshal William Berger, who used to be a foster parent and understands the environments that can cause children to run away in the first place. He says the risk for them running away is high.
What we've done is two-pronged. One is, again, being able to identify them, being able to save them, but then putting them in a process where, as mentioned, daycare and other facilities to help them both physically and psychologically.
That's
and,
right.
And hopefully we can turn it around. We're praying that if 50% of the children can be saved permanently, that's a tremendous success.
Tomorrow night, we're going to take you inside the hub where medical staff, advocates, and survivors of trafficking are providing help and resources to the children recovered during this operation.
Hey, we finally had some good news today, and then Jay from Guilty of Crime has to drop the bad news about hold on about the racketeering that's going on. The racketeering case is huge, and I got to tell you guys, I think that racketeering, the money, the cash, the hard cash, I believe that the racketeering is intertwined with trafficking and red rum. All right. And Shorty Pie, what's up? You said, Jay, you're the eye candy, with all due respect. I appreciate that. I do my hair for you guys. You know, it's a pain in the butt to dye my hair, but I love you. All right. Real Gemini says, I saw two dudes dressed the same, so I asked if they was a couple, and them fuckers locked me up. I don't need that. Thank you for the laugh. I'm like, wait, what? All right. And then, of course, we're going to take the compliments. We got the straight team Guilty of Crime. All right. I love that you guys got all of your eye candy. All right, guys. Now, listen. Marcos Lopez was a sheriff for a long time. He was arrested last week. And yesterday, his wife was arrested facing racketeer chargings. This lady said she was broke. And guess what? She said she only makes like $1,700 a month. They saw $117,000 cash deposit put into her bank account. What's up, FC? So I have to show this because I gotta say that money, cash, cold hard money, goes along with all of this. You gotta wash the money, you gotta clean the money, and that's why these people aren't out, because they can't get clean money to bail themselves out. And this is also in Florida. Microwave Cheese, thank you so much. Love, Guilty of Crime crew, and we love you. All right, check this out. Sheriff Marco's wife arrested along with him. They weren't even together. So all of this intertwines today with racketeering, trafficking, and red rum. Let's go. This is his wife getting arrested. Exactly. There you go. It's all about the money, guys. Look at that. Spread them, lady. Spread them legs. Spread them. That's what happens when you steal a bunch of money. Now, remember, her husband got caught with the picture of Madeline Soto and her body. All right. Her body was on he had a picture from the crime scene. I can't seem to stop this. Hold on. Okay. Sheriff Marcos had Madeline Soto's body on his phone, and he accidentally put it on Instagram. Not funny. He got a slap on the wrist. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get to so my internet is going slow today, and I don't know why, but I do got to show you this. Sheriff Marcos and his wife are both now arrested, and I want you to see this. He had Madeline Soto's body. It got onto Instagram. It got leaked on Instagram. He got a slap on the hand, and then he's arrested. He hasn't bailed out of jail yet because they can't find clean money. All right. So they're still sitting in jail. And after this, I'm going to show you the result of trafficking a child, and the child being trafficked to the wrong person, which ends up in red rum and dismemberment in this case. All right, so here we go. I didn't see this first. Wife of suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez is now arrested along with him.
The wife of suspended Osceola County Sheriff is now in jail as well. Robin Lopez was arrested today in Harmony. This is video of Homeland Security taking her into custody. She faces charges of conspiracy to use or invest proceeds from racketeering. And this is a live look outside the Lake County Jail where the couple is being held right now. Marcos Lopez buried.
We'll just do the walk of shame with them, huh? Let's look at this. Let's pretend like they're walking out of that door. Damn, this got to be the walk of shame. And why? I'm going to suspect that they do have kids. They were married for years. They have been separated. But this lady is still cleaning money for him. He was employed for 20 some odd years in Osceola. He was a big show off. He always wants to be on camera. He wants to be the big sheriff in town. And this mofo is taking money that's dirty money. And when it's dirty money, you have blood on your hands, sir and ma'am. These people have blood on their hands. I guarantee you. That little girl that got dismembered and her life taken, I have a sneaking suspicion that all of the arrests for racketeering and cleaning that money go hand in hand with all of this other stuff. Look at Diddy. Everything goes hand in hand. This is all in Florida. You know damn well she's with them when she has receipts of $117,000 being put into her bank account. You're a dumb lady. You have blood on your hands, sir and ma'am. Get out of here.
Being held has been there now over 2 weeks on a $1 million bond. He faces charges of racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. And Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is live outside the jail today. So Randy, what's the latest from there?
Yeah, good evening to you, John. So this couple has been married since 2007, and now investigators have tried to rope them together in this alleged illegal gambling scheme. Now, I spoke with a criminal defense attorney today, not connected to the case. He reiterated everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but did say today that this could create some hurdles in Marcos Lopez's case. Robin Severance Lopez has joined her husband.
Look at that. It's the perp walk. Her eyes are looking like an owl. Whoo! I just got arrested. I only make $1,000 a month, but I'm putting 117 and I can't get clean money to save my life. All right. Yes, we are going to talk about 16-year-old Miranda Corset right after this. All right. Like I said, trafficking, racketeering, and red rum. All right. That's what we're talking about today.
Husband, suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos
Lopez.
Lopez
Look at that smile
in the Lake County Jail. not for a visit, but behind bars facing her own charges. Jail records show Robin Lopez was arrested Monday morning.
Her
She's
eyes are
charged
right. I
with
can't even open my eyes.
conspiracy to use or invest proceeds from racketeering. Her arrest comes less than a month after her husband was arrested on racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. Marcos Lopez is accused of helping run an illegal gambling ring in Kissimmee worth $21.6 million and using his position as sheriff to protect the criminal enterprise.
As a defense attorney, I don't like to say anything makes you look more guilty, but of course, I mean, if now it looks like it's a family affair.
Jeff Golub is a criminal defense attorney not connected to the case. Golub says the timeline between Robin
all money is not good money. And trust me, if you're taking money that has blood on it, it's not going to be good for you and it's never going to end well. And Florida has one of the biggest problems with trafficking. I didn't even know about the racketeering and having the police force involved. There were other stuff, guys. There were other officers arrested in that. I just never played the presser for that, okay? So yes, she looks cracked up with those eyes, HR puffing stuff. Do me a favor, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can, and share with your community. You're going to want to share this episode.
Lopez's arrest and Marcos Lopez's arrest may show,
maybe they were waiting for some last minute evidence that they didn't have or they thought they had.
Marcos Lopez has been in jail since June 5th on a $1 million bond. He has to
Hey, that wiped that smile off of his face now, didn't it, guys? Not only did it wipe the smile off his face, but they can't get bailed out. They had 21.6 million shifting through their hands, folks, and they can't get out. All right. Yeah, this story is wild. And I wish it were just a story. All right. 21.6 million going through their fingers, and they can't make $400,000 bail or $200,000 bail. What the heck?
Prove to the court any money he puts up to get out didn't come from the alleged gambling ring. Golub says now that Lopez's wife is in custody with connected charges, they have more to prove to get bond.
They were going to try to get money that she had to use to help him. Now they need money for her to use to help her.
Did you guys hear that? He chuckled. He said they were trying to get money from her to bail him out and show proof of clean money, but instead she got arrested and both of them can't find clean money to save their lives. I think that's a little bit of a laugh, if I do say. And mine's not freezing, but I know that a lot of people are having heat waves right now. So I'm sorry if it's freezing, guys.
Right now, Robin Lopez remains in the Lake County Jail with no bond. She's expected to go before a judge tomorrow, where a bond is expected to be set. And with that criminal defense attorney who I spoke with today, who, again, not connected to the case, but just breaking it down, he says that Mrs. Lopez may face the same high standard as Marcos Lopez in showing that any money that she would put up for bonds was not obtained illegally. I'll send it back to you live tonight. Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
All right, guys. Now, you asked about the Miranda Corset case. Again, they were looking for her in this trafficking situation like they did with Paola. Okay, so Paola was the girl, if you were here at the beginning, that was the girl that was under the bed, and she was hiding under the bed from police. The guys said that they thought she wasn't under, they didn't know she was underage. Okay, so that was Paola. That was the first one. Second one they were targeting to find was this teen, Miranda Corset. And can I tell you what? This is Miranda Corset, and she was dismembered by a man that she met on a dating app. But she was also in the throes of being bad with her parents, running away, and whatever else goes along with it. I had no idea about that until I saw the guy's face intertwined into the trafficking case. All right, now Lucan says they found 30 missing children in Jackson, Clay County this week also. Well, there you go. If it's another 30, then add 60 to that. All right. So now this can happen when you run away. What happened to this girl? Her life was taken and she was trafficked. He absolutely said that, but I think that's I think he was having rough, what with her, and something happened and he strangled her. You can see it in his eyes. We're going to cover a little bit of this. This is not today's case, but that's what happens when children get trafficked. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen to them. And yes, rest in peace, baby girl. She was also a mother. All right. So trafficking, racketeering, and red rum. Let's hear this out a little bit about what happened to her.
Teenage mother's body might be in a Florida landfill right now after authorities say a local man lured her to his home on a dating app, killed her, and then dismembered her. Now he and his on-again, off-again girlfriend, they are both under arrest. We're going to dig into the details of this case. And
all right, now remember, this is Florida. Florida teen dismembered by man she met on dating app. Now I'm assuming she was on the dating app maybe to find some buddy to maybe take care of her or trade. Like maybe she would go stay there. Who knows? But she was on the target of the task force to find and bring home. And this is what happened in Florida. Do you know the story? He killed her over a ring. Yeah, I do. I do know the story, but it's all intertwined. And that's what we're going to look at this today.
And where the investigation goes next with former Florida State's Attorney Dave Aronberg. Welcome to.
Yeah, we're just going to listen to a little about this, what happened, and then we're going to get into the presser of why Dragoneye was so big, why it was so successful, and what happened. All right, let's go so we can get through this.
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Webb.
Yep. 16.
This is honestly the worst case scenario. When we cover true crimes and we talk about the dangers online, the unknown attacker, the stranger in the night, the allegations that you are about to hear are a textbook example of some of our greatest fears of what can happen. Because authorities in St. Petersburg, Florida say 16-year-old Miranda Corsetti is dead.
I wouldn't even have recognized her. Thank you to Grizzly True Crime for putting out that episode so we can be aware. And of course, things are intertwined when it comes to money, drugs, and sex, right? And Kelly, I'm even afraid to go over to Florida for the trials by myself. As much as I wanted to go, I still want to go, but I'm like, I don't know if I can go by myself with all the stuff going on in the background. So we'll see. And now at this point, it could have been whatever app it could have been. It was a dating app, and look at what happened to her. All right. Yeah, it doesn't matter what he claimed. She lied about her age. Of course, they all say that. All right. They all say that.
Dismembered by a man she met on a dating app. This teen was reported missing on February 24th, and investigators are in the process of trying to locate her remains. This is a horrible story, and it's one that involves, by the way, multiple locations along the Gulf Coast of Florida. So we start with the fact that Miranda lived in Gulfport with her grandmother, and according to police, her parents are both deceased, and officials also confirmed that Miranda was actually the mother of an 11-month-old baby and had been homeschooled. Now, St. Petersburg Police Chief Anthony Holloway provided a timeline leading up to Miranda's death, and he told reporters during a press conference that 35-year-old Stephen Gress.
All right, so look at that guy. You see this guy. I promise this guy looks like somebody that I worked with last year. This is a guy that I sent over to Apple. Right. You guys know I work in Silicon Valley, and I work for companies like Apple, Facebook, Snapchat, people that make products. I swear this guy looks like one of my coworkers. He doesn't look like he'd harm anybody. He looks like he's eye candy. And then you see the real monster. And Sid, I will take you up on that. Let's go. Let's go. I do not want to go to Florida by myself now with all the stuff happening behind the scenes. Let's go. Come to San Jose, stay at my house, and let's go. I'm down. All right, let's keep going. This guy would be eye candy until we know what he did. And I'm going to say drugs is heavy in this. And yes, Grindr is for gay men. So I saw somebody say Grindr, that's for men on men typically. All right. And Tiff, let's go. You're closer to Florida. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And CrimeCon, baby. CrimeCon. All right.
Reached out to Miranda on a dating app on Valentine's Day. Now, authorities claim he drove to her home in Gulfport, took her back to his place in St. Petersburg. Gress reportedly took Miranda back to her home. This is according to police. But the next day, she apparently returned to Gress's home a second time. But unfortunately, she wouldn't leave alive.
Damn, dude.
Now, on the 20th at the house, there was some type of dispute over some missing jewelry. So from the
All right, this is a great question, Roxanne. Did anyone miss this child? Did anyone report her running away? Where is her baby? Roxanne, this is intertwined heavily into this trafficking case. 60 missing children were saved in Florida yesterday, and she should have been one of them. She was on the radar, and they were looking for her along with Paola. I'm going to call her Paola. Paola, Paola, okay? I'm doing my best here. So, yes, she was absolutely on radar to find, and they found her unalived, all right? He was definitely bisexual. Okay, well, maybe that's why he was so pretty at one point. All right.
The 20th through the 24th, she was beaten and tortured because they could not find this piece of jewelry. We know that sometime there, she was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo. In Largo, the detectives found evidence that Miranda was dismembered at that location. They then placed her in a car and they drove her down to Ruskin, where they dumped her into a dumpster, and her body is somewhere possibly in a landfill somewhere in that county. We're going to do everything possible to bring Miranda home. Again, we know the body was placed into a dumpster, but we got to try to figure out which land.
You know, this is on 1.1 speed, and this guy is talking really fast, slow still. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. Let me know in chat. This will be a good way for you guys to get to be able to enter today's Foxy Box drawing. Hit a 1 in chat if you like how I present true crime and how I intertwine cases. I'd be happy to intertwine more cases for you that are in similar areas happening at the same time. I think they're all relevant to each other. And what's up, Crime Watch Lover? Hello, all. And Jay just got here. Hope you're all amazing, truly heartbreaking. I watched a police interview. Listen, Crime Watch, we're not even talking about just Miranda Corsetti. We're talking about 60 missing children that were trafficked and found, all right, along with racketeering and red rum. Thank you. I hope you guys do. Some people only like one case at a time, but I see so many cases that go together. They should all be talked about. All right. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Landfill did that dumpster go to?
Pretty horrifying to think about, to say the least. My gosh, 16 years old. And now authorities believe she was killed sometime between February 20th and February 24th. And as you heard, Gress's domestic partner, 37-year-old Michelle Brandis, is believed to have helped Gress transport Miranda's body to another home, which police say belonged to Brandis's mother, where the teen was dismembered and then put into a dumpster in Hillsborough County. And when investigators filed an arrest affidavit with the court for Gress on a first-degree murder charge, that is when we learned other horrifying details about what allegedly happened to Miranda, because the affidavit states that Gress, quote, unlawfully and from a premeditated design to effect the death of Miranda Corsetti, a human being, repeatedly beat the victim while holding her captive for 7 days and eventually suffocating her by wrapping plastic wrap around her face, thereby inflicting upon the said Miranda Corsetti mortal wounds. And the affidavit goes on to say the defendant and co-defendant held the victim against her will for over 7 days, tortured her by beating the victim, and eventually stuffing a billiard ball into her mouth and wrapping her face with plastic wrap, causing her to suffocate. The defendant and co-defendant felt the victim had stolen a ring. And the defendant and co-defendant then dismembered the body of the victim and discarded the victim in a dumpster in Ruskin, Florida. It is just unthinkable. And neither police nor the affidavit provided any sort of reason for why Gress and Brandis might have believed.
I mean, this is just human garbage, right? Human garbage. This little girl should have been found. She should be in therapy right now. She should be with her baby. But this is what happened by these two sick individuals. Now, you can see that the lady, the piece of trash woman, looks all beat up and she's, going to use I was scared of him. But no. You fight your way out of it and you save that little girl. You don't go along with this guy. And I bet you this was not the first time that she did this. Yes, Ali Callie, that's why you educate your clients of human trafficking safety tips. Absolutely. All right, let's keep going. We're going to get to the presser, which isn't that long, by the way, but it's packed with information.
Miranda took this ring, nor is there any evidence that she actually stole anything. But on February 24th, Miranda's grandmother reported her missing. And then several days later, police say a witness came forward to give them a tip about what might have happened to Miranda. So when police started to figure out who might be responsible in her disappearance, it turned out that Gress was already in jail on other serious charges. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy, scary story to say the least. But look, we're glad we're able to bring it to you. We're glad we're able to shed a light on these allegations, what happened to Miranda. So it's our privilege to be able to cover these kinds of stories. And for that, I want to quickly thank and call out our great partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Because
we don't.
About people meeting online.
We're going to go a little bit
To
farther.
the landfill, yeah, it makes it very hard. But you heard from law enforcement there that they are intent on bringing her home. So kudos to law enforcement. They're doing what they can. This girl really didn't have much of a chance at life. I mean, she had, her parents died. She was being raised by a grandmother. She's being homeschooled.
Okay, there you go, guys. She was being homeschooled. She was being raised by her grandmother. Her parents died, and she had a baby. She had a lot of things going against her, and they should have found her and brought her home. But like I said, your chances, the statistics go up the more times you run away, the more times you XYZ, right? Especially running away. You're going to have a higher risk of being trafficked and lots of other things.
School. She had a child who was 11-month-old. She had mental illness. She was going on dating sites, and her grandmother didn't know where she was going. It's just a tragedy all around.
Now, going back to Mr. Gress for a minute, he appeared in court over the weekend on charges of first-degree murder and kidnapping.
He looks way different.
And at one point, he tried to speak up in court, but he was quickly shushed.
Repeatedly beat the victim while holding her captive for 7 days and eventually suffocating her by wrapping plastic wrap around her face.
Just said that I suffocated this girl.
Don't say any more here.
And he also wanted to know where his co-defendant was.
Where's Michelle Brandis at?
Thank you. We're done.
Turns out police wanted to know that too, because during his press conference on Friday, the chief told reporters that Brandis was still a wanted suspect. Now, she ended up turning herself in on Saturday morning. She was also charged with kidnapping and murder. Dave, I mean, your reactions to seeing that, him trying to speak up in court, and I mean, the fact that he mentioned, where's Michelle Brandis at? I don't know if he's trying to, I don't know. My first thought was, is he trying to suggest that she's to blame for this? How do you think that, what was your reaction to that? And also the fact that there are two defendants here.
All right, we're gonna go a little bit farther. I'm gonna see if there's any
vulnerable, and the defendants took advantage of that vulnerability. That's the only thing that I could see how that might play a factor into this.
Yes, that and her age and her
potential
mental disability. Yes, that shows that she's uniquely vulnerable. On the other hand, you have to watch out at trial to make sure there are no jurors who try to do some victim blaming here. Say, oh, she's a teenager and she's doing teenager things and running around
and running away, because we know with Emily Pike running away multiple times, people just started to think that, oh, she's just a runaway. She went off with someone willingly, right? And that's not the case. That's not the case with her, or she would be alive right now. My mom's obsessed with you, Jay. Well, tell your mama I say hello. Yeah, poor grandma and baby. Yes, he is trying to say girlfriend did it because she was jealous. Yeah, this is all just, we know the deal, right? All a bunch of excuses.
Running away. And so to try to blame her for what happened and absolve this guy of any responsibility. So it does cut both ways. You want to make sure you get the right jury understands that this person was a vulnerable victim. And as a teenager with mental illness who lost both her parents and who apparently had a grandmother just wasn't too strict on her, that she would just go out all day and the grandmother just wait for her to come back. So this is what's probably going through the prosecutor's minds right now. And I think it is relevant, the fact that she is who she was.
I want to point out another interesting fact from a separate affidavit that was filed against.
Right, that's interesting. And what's up, Nanoska? Good to see you. I got your email that said, hey, Jay, why don't you give some good news today and talk about the 60 missing children that were found? You know, that's an interesting point you make. You say, I hope some of the kids found were the 35,000 images found on Stern's HD. That's interesting because all of these things are intertwined. Right? Trafficking, pedos, racketeering, and ultimately red rumming the victim. All right. Nobody's victim blaming. I'm saying we don't tolerate victim blaming. Aaron said that in court, sometimes a juror will let the guy or the girl off because they victim blame in their mind. They say, this girl ran away a bunch of times. She was unruly, and they blame it on the victim. We never blame it on the victim. and victims spread far and wide. Victims are family members and the other side family members, and on and on and on. All right, so let's keep going, guys. Good to see you. Keep that chat up. All right.
So this one is in connection with the kidnapping charge, and it reads, the victim sustained visible injuries, and based on the statement of two separate witnesses, the victim was held against her will through force and intimidation, constituting kidnapping under Florida law. So they mentioned at least two witnesses, and we know from local reporting that Gress lived in this duplex, that there was another tenant that also lived there, and Gress's landlord, David Horton, spoke with ABC 10 and told them that Gress had been essentially a menace for months. There had been lots of calls related to welfare checks and domestic violence incidents, although interestingly, police records show there was no call-outs to the address during the time Miranda was supposedly there. But Dave, two witnesses, I mean, it's unclear if either, the tenant or the landlord are the witnesses mentioned in the
I
affidavit.
want to see if they show him talking to
Court records. In fact, when investigators connected Gress to Miranda's murder, as I mentioned, he was already sitting in jail. Turns out, just days before police denounced his alleged involvement in this case, Gress had allegedly threatened Brandis outside that duplex. The affidavit related to that incident reads, the defendant and the victim are in an on-again, off-again domestic relationship.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, you should go over and watch the interview that he had with police. It's disgusting. He blames everybody but himself. Real Gemini, we have 182 likes and 247 people in the room. If you don't smash the like button, you won't be entered to win a Foxy Box because the system can't pick up that you're here. All right. So thank you, Rebecca. Good to see you. Kel, much love. I'm not understanding what I did. What did you do, Weed Hopper? Well, who did what? Who did what? Who do I got to come after? All right, let's keep going. Yeah, he never took accountability for sure.
Relationship. After coming to the defendant's house and having sexual intercourse, the defendant and victim were engaged in a verbal dispute in which the victim tried to leave and the defendant was trying to get her to get into a vehicle with him. The victim refused and began to walk off, and the defendant kept walking in front of her, attempting to block her path. The defendant then retrieved an air-powered .72 caliber harpoon gun and was standing in the front yard of the residence in a menacing manner, causing the victim to be placed in a well-founded fear for her life, fearing the defendant would fire the harpoon gun at her. Dave, a harpoon gun. That is a new one. I don't think I've heard that one before.
A harpoon gun,
even
guys.
if they can't find her remains.
Oh, yeah, you don't need to find a body to convict someone in a case. It's better if you had the body, but you don't have to. You have witness testimony already. You have her potential testimony if she cuts a deal. You have all the forensic evidence that they have.
Damn, they didn't even recover her body, you guys. What? Another one? Yeah, his interview is shocking. We don't have time for that today because we are going to listen to the presser about the 60 children being recovered. I really think that's important. That's why we're here today. But I just wanted you guys to see what happens when somebody runs away, worst case scenario.
I mean, they've got this whole detail. They know all these details without even having to call these people already. Yeah. So as far as the prior bad act, there are exceptions to the rule, and you can bring in.
We don't need to know any of that. See, he doesn't look like a monster, so that goes to show you even more. Monsters are everywhere. You can't tell.
Without violence. I think it's just interesting, Dave, as we put a wrap on this. Look, he's innocent until proven guilty. So is Miss Brandis. But these allegations, this incident, definitely tell a very interesting story about this defendant.
All right.
Not surprised at all that he's allegedly a meth head who uses a harpoon gun to try to.
There you go, guys. He's heavily on DRUGS, like I said, with a harpoon. What the heck? He also does, like, he tells them that he'd go on Craigslist and get animals and take their life. That made him feel better to KILL something. All right. So what is that? Yeah, this guy's nuts. He's a monster. All right, guys, we're gonna get to the presser.
To do violence against his girlfriend, who has a long rap sheet. I mean, who else would do a crime like this? This guy meets the central casting of what this kind of criminal would be. So all
right. So there you go. They didn't find this little girl, but they know she's no longer alive. They haven't even recovered her body. And now we're going to talk about the children that were saved and the people that were arrested and how and what and all that stuff. All right. So that leads us to what happened in Florida yesterday. It's the news conference, 60 missing Florida children recovered, Operation Dragoneye, right?
is we're great at working together in collaboration across agency lines. So I'm excited to have here with me today William Berger, the U.S. Marshal for the Central District of Florida, Taylor Hatch, Secretary of Florida Department of Children and Families, Rita Peters, Special Counsel to the Florida AG's office.
All right, let's go a little bit forward.
Florida, the safest state to raise a family, is our #1 priority.
Really?
Today is a result of the hard work to deliver on that promise. Many of these kids have been through painful, disastrous situations, but at least today we've rescued them and we now can work towards recovery. I want to thank our law enforcement partners. I want to thank our victims advocates for.
A lot of you guys are dropping off, but if you leave, then you won't be here to win a Foxy box. So at least if you just stay tuned or come back, please do that. We're going to get to the meat of this. All right.
Dragoneye, the largest in the history of the United States Marshal Service, if not the history of the United States. As the AG mentioned, 60 juveniles recovered in 2 weeks, ranging from age 9 to 17 years of age. Several years ago, Atlanta had a similar operation, which resulted in the recovery of 30 children over 6 weeks.
There you go, guys.
Was a collaboration of, as the AG mentioned, 20 agencies with over 100 people involved. I want to thank the AG for providing the statewide special prosecutors. I want to say special thanks to Sheriffs Chronister, Golteri, and Naco, FDLE, of course, our police chiefs, my friends, Lee Burkall and Tony Holloway, Hillsborough County State Attorney, Susie Lopez, who many will be speaking in the very near future. It should be noted that Tampa Mayor Jane Castor and former Mayor Bob Buckhorn also visited the command post and spoke to our team, emphasizing the importance of this operation. We put together this operation emphasizing recoveries, but I can tell you I stressed arrest because experience tells us if the offenders are not apprehended, they will reconnect with these children. They are, in my opinion, leeches. Behind me, you will see the pictures of 8 persons who were arrested and charged with crimes ranging from human trafficking, child endangerment, drug possession, and trafficking. When arrested, they were given bonds ranging from no bond to $250 million.
Look at all those people they blurred out. And I'm assuming that these ones above that they have zoomed out are people that were rescued. Those are the children. Those are the people that were arrested. I'm sorry, below. And those are the children / teenagers, which are still children that were saved. All right.
$1 bond. I've never heard of that before. Finally, it is important to give credit where credit is due. The one person who was tasked with setting up this operation and universally has been recognized by all people involved is Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price. Mario will make himself available after this conference. Thank you very much.
It's good to put bad guys away. There's nothing more fulfilling.
Yep.
Next,
It's
we
a
have
good
Taylor
day,
Hatch, Florida Department of Children and Families.
There we go. We need more of those people.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Taylor Hatch, and I have the honor of serving as the Secretary for the Florida Department of Children and Families. I am grateful to stand alongside so many dedicated professionals and colleagues, the U.S. Marshal for the Middle District of Florida, William Berger, FDLE Commissioner Mark Glass, and the Attorney General James Uthmeier. Thank you to the U.S. Marshal Services and for Florida Department of Law Enforcement for organizing today's event alongside the Attorney General. It is an opportunity not only to reflect on the success of Operation DragonEye, but to reaffirm our unified and shared commitment to promote the safety and the well-being of Floridians, in particular children. As you might imagine, an operation of this magnitude requires strong coordination at every level. From the earliest planning discussion to recovery and ongoing supports, DCF was proud to work alongside its federal, its state, and its local partners. Together, we recovered vulnerable children and we mobilized ongoing resources to support their well-being. The DCF team provided critical information.
Yes, absolutely. They named 8 people in the arrest. All right. There's more people, but they named 8. 60 children were recovered. And as I say that, we just hit 222, which is a prayer. Say a prayer, guys, for those that need prayers, especially these children that were recovered from this trafficking rescue. All right. They need a lot. All right, let's go.
Help shape recovery protocols Deploy child protective investigators, criminal justice coordinators, and human trafficking specialists to support this mission in real time to ensure that every child recovered was met with care and was met with compassion. I would like to give a well-deserved recognition specifically to our team of 10 DCF operatives. Thank you so much for your expertise, your unrelenting dedication, and your incredible passion. Your work directly resulted in the recovery of 26 of the 60 children. That is an incredible impact. And as a mom and as your leader, I am beyond proud and honored to work alongside you. The appreciation and pride also extends to our outstanding work from our lead agency partners and victim advocacy partners as we work together focusing on the importance of trauma responsiveness and placement for the children that were recovered.
Oh, wait. So, yes, great. The child recovery. Did you guys also see that they recovered a bunch of fent? They said it was enough to kill Idaho. All right. There was a lot. This just happened too. It does not intertwine with his case. Well, I don't know if you guys just saw the recovery of all the fent. All right, let's keep going. We're talking about 60 children.
Specifically, I'd like to thank Children's Network of Hillsborough, Family Support Services in Pasco and Pinellas, as well as Bridging Freedom, More to Life, Redefining Refuge, and Hillsborough Children's Services to again secure trauma-informed care, safe housing, and the right services to support each child both immediately and in their journey ahead. Because bringing a child to safety is only the beginning. Helping them heal is the work that we know follows. I want to again thank the leaders from the United States Marshal Services, FDLE, and the Attorney General, as well as your teams for your partnership and for recognizing the impact of our agencies and partners' contributions. As Secretary, I am honored to serve Governor DeSantis, who leads by example, who sets the pace, who sets the tone and the expectation for delivering for Floridians and their families. Operation Dragoneye is a powerful example of what we can achieve when we come together with urgency and with shared purpose. Thanks to your efforts, 60 children, as you have heard, are now safe and supported, and that is something everyone should be proud of. Thank you for standing in partnership in the unified mission to protect such a truly.
Yes, it was Grady that did the press release of that. Sheriff Grady in Florida. They recovered enough to wipe out, they said Idaho, right? All right. Anyway, I don't have that pulled up in front of me, but absolutely crazy. Now you're asking what part of Florida for what? All right. This is Florida. I don't know. I don't even know what part. I already said that earlier. I'm not sure what you're referring to. All right, let's keep going.
Precious population, the children of our great state. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Next, we have Rita Peters, special counsel in my office, who they refer to as Rico Rita.
I don't think I'll ever outrun that name. Good morning. As you heard, my name is Rita Peters, and I have the privilege and honor of being special counsel to Attorney General James Uthmeier. I've been keeping him a little bit busy the last few months, I think. It is an honor to stand before you this morning, along with my partners behind me and the worker bees in the audience, to share that 60 children were recovered, as you have heard. And it was only through the partnership of these federal, state, and local agencies. The number is not just a statistic, it actually represents a life and a future that was given one more chance. This operation reflects our agency's commitment to protecting the most vulnerable, our children.
Thank you.
And this operation shows the extraordinary work collaboration between all of our agency partners. We all worked in lockstep to bring these children to safety. No one agency could have accomplished this alone. It was a team effort rooted in our shared responsibility, our civic duty, and unwavering determination to keep Florida safe. As prosecutors, our role goes beyond the halls of the courthouse. We are ministers of justice and advocates for the voiceless, and we are committed to being part of the solution along with our agency partners. Recovery is just the beginning for these children. They will need care, counseling, and attention. And we will join with our partner victim advocacy organizations, as well as with the Department of Children and Families, to be part of that. When a child goes missing, the whole community suffers. Children are not just our future, they are our present, and they deserve safety, dignity, and every opportunity to grow.
Whole county, okay.
It is our duty to protect our children. Their lives matter deeply, and their safety will.
Absolutely, they do, guys. And remember, I'm from California. A lot of you guys that message me are from Florida or heavily watch cases in Florida. Of course, we know the Madeline Soto case, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. Stephen Stearns is waiting to be on trial, was in Florida, right? Kissimmee, Florida. So that's what we know. And yes, children are children are our future, but people don't seem to care like that because look at what's happening. Look at what they're doing. I mean, look at what Diddy did to some of the most richest, most famous people in the world. Think about those children that he attacked allegedly or raped as younger children, right? Possibly Justin Bieber, Usher. I mean, those people are mega superstars and they're living with grape and these kind of things that are happening to these children. All right. So think about the other children that are our future that are not super mega stars. What is happening? All right. So I just want to bring that up because everybody knows what that is, what I'm referring to.
Always be our top priority. And today, through the powerful collaboration and the shared mission, 60 children were given hope, caring, and protection. Thank you.
That's great, guys. Come on. We got some
People here, I can't
positive.
remember them. Next, we've got Mark Glass, Commissioner FDLE.
Thank you, General. Appreciate it. My name is Mark Glass. I'm a commissioner of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and 60 children, 60. Marshall, I just want to say thank you for your team, chiefs and majors. I appreciate you, sheriffs, that are contributed to this operation. As you heard before, not one agency can do it, not one. We all have to work together. Children are a precious gift to us, and we have to protect them. We think of us as heroes sometimes, but our heroes are really, if you just look at the blurred out faces up there, there's your heroes. They sustained so much trauma over a long period of time. And my hat is off to you, caregivers and victim right advocates, patrol officers, agents, detectives, and deputies that are out there trying to make a difference and trying to find these children. Remember my first one when I was a patrol officer, and I found one, and it was one of the most elated times I had because I was able to, felt like I went home and I did something. I actually helped someone, and it was a runaway. But now we have, and we still have for years, human traffickers. Horrible, 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 horrible.
Yep.
And we should purge those from our society, put them in jail where they belong. And we can't do it by just one agency. We have to work together, from NGOs to victims' rights to all
There
law
was
enforcement.
20 agencies,
and
guys.
Prosecutorial staff, the things that they have to see the whole case. They have to see everything that happens to these children. And we need to pray for them.
Yes,
because
it
they
is.
take that burden home just like the victim rights
Yes.
advocates do.
Come
And
on,
this
guys.
doesn't stop here today. This should continue on and on. These 60 here,
Yep.
we have to rally behind them, rally with them, and continue to give them caregiving and support even into their adult years.
There you
Because
go.
your mind does not get developed, I believe, up until the age of 25. So the trauma that they faced all through this time is
Yep.
horrific. And we as a society should always galvanize together to help those who are much in need. So my hat's off to everyone here that is listening. My hat's off to everyone that worked on this. And Marshall, I do appreciate your team. General, you've been a stalwart on this, and I just want to say thank you for continuing to have the strike team in Tampa Bay. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to stop it.
So they
Today,
had, oh man, I didn't mean to do that. They had multiple agencies, 20 agencies. I didn't mean to do that at all. I'm sorry, I went backwards, but they had so many agencies working together. And I got to tell you guys, all of this has to work in sync with each other, because if one system fails the other, those children or a percentage of those children are going to go right back to the streets, guys. They're going to go right back to being trafficked. They're going to go right back to being kidnapped. They're going to go right back to somebody getting their life taken and dismembered. So remember that everybody needs to work together, not just these agencies, but the agencies and the folks that support them. All right. You gotta remember that it is a good day, and I love being optimistic, and I love saying kudos to them for saving 60 children that were missing, being trafficked, but everything has to work in concert together to make it move forward. Now what's gonna happen? It has to be like that. All right, let's keep going.
us as heroes sometimes, but our heroes are really, if you just look at the blurred out faces up there, there's your heroes.
There you go.
They
The children.
sustained so much trauma over a long period of time. And my hat is off to you, caregivers, and victim right advocates, patrol officers, agents, detectives, and deputies that are out there trying to make a difference and trying to find these children. Remember my first one when I was a patrol officer, and I found one, and it was one of the most elated times I had because I was able to felt like I went home and I did something. I actually helped someone, and it was a runaway. But now we have, and we still have for years, human traffickers.
Ta-da. Today was a good day.
And we should purge those from our society, put them in jail where they belong.
Yep.
And we can't do it by just one agency. We have to work together, from NGOs, victims' rights, to all law enforcement.
He's saying that too.
And our
Preach it.
prosecutorial staff, the things that they have
Preach
to see,
it.
they have
They
to see
have
the whole
to.
case. They have to see everything that happens to these children, and we need to pray for them because they take that burden home just like the victim rights advocates do. And this doesn't stop here today. This should continue on and on. These 60 here, we have to rally behind them, rally with them, and continue to give them caregiving and support even
Didn't
into their
even
adult
have to
years.
use my AK.
Because
today was
your
a good
mind
day.
does not get developed, I believe, up until the age of 25.
Yep.
So the trauma that they faced all through this time is horrific. And we as a society should always galvanize together to help those who are much in need. So my hat's off to everyone here that is listening. My hat's off to everyone that worked on this. And Marshall, I do appreciate your team. General, you've been a stalwart on this, and I just want to say thank you for continuing to have the strike team in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
And we're going to do everything we possibly can to stop it. Now, this is a little plug. So if you see something, say something.
And do
We
something.
always talk about.
See
no matter
something,
what it
say
is.
something, do something.
It may not seem right. You may be at the grocery store. You may be in your neighborhood. This doesn't happen. It's this type of stuff.
Yes, I just got a notice from a pedo that he moved out of the area. So they let me know when, you can look at that tracker where there's pedos in your area. Well, I got a notification today that was telling me that there was a pedo 0.5 miles and they registered as moving. So yes, you guys got to hashtag save our children. Everybody needs to work together. Lynn says, I'm so glad you're not just skimming over the. Yeah, I can't skim over this, guys. But I did want to intertwine everything and then put this at the end. So in case you wanted to go, right? Like Ice Cube, today was a good day. I didn't even have to use my AK. Today was a good day, right?
Stuff happens in plain sight. It's right in front of you. You just got to look for the signs. You can go to the human trafficking hotline, which is 1-855-FLA-SAFE. That's 1-855-FLA-SAFE. You can go to FDLE's website. Once you make that call, we make immediate response to the local agency that is in the area to follow up on. We also we want you to call 911. I know everybody thinks, well, maybe I shouldn't call it. Well, look, if you can't figure it out, just call one of those two numbers. Somebody would come out and help. And I'd rather say something so that way we can do something. And together we can make things happen. So to all that is here, I just want to say thank you. And we're going to continue to fight this good fight. Thank you, General.
Catherine Gomez, Director of the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, Human Trafficking Intervention.
Come on, this is the lady we saw earlier.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Catherine Gomez, and I serve as the Director of Human Trafficking Intervention for the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you to everyone that is behind me. Thank you to all of our partners and colleagues in this mission led by the U.S. Marshal Service, and specifically by the tireless and relentless efforts of Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price. I want to express my gratitude to every agency that's here and every staff person that's here and every person in the audience that we all worked together for so many weeks and worked so hard. And I can see the tired nods in the audience because I don't think any of us have really caught up on sleep just yet. But it was worth it because we ensured that 60 recoveries, 60 young people were given an opportunity. 60 young people were brought home, whatever home that may be for them. This was a coordinated effort between law enforcement agencies at the federal, state, county, and local level, as well as other social service organizations, child welfare organizations, community partners, all united in the exact same mission, bringing these young people home and giving them an opportunity at recovery. And I and my agency are delighted and honored to have been part of this. To have this many kids recovered, really, as the
Yeah,
previous
that's a
people have
lot.
spoken about, is really a testament to the partnership and coordination.
Absolutely, guys. You know, when one child is recovered and we're like, oh my God, they found him, they brought him home. Think about all 60 children that are brought home. Now, it may not be such a happy recovery for them. Many of them have been out on the streets for a long time. They've been groomed. They've also been made to take DRUGS. So they're addicts of something, right? So they're groomed. They're addicts. They've been exposed to all kinds of things. And now they have to go into an element that they're not used to. So as much as it's amazing and we're so happy that they were recovered, now there's a long road ahead. All right. So it's absolutely mind-blowing in all ways. Right. All right. Let's keep going.
Coordination and collaboration that it took between every single agency to make this happen. None of us could have done it all on our own. Over half of the young people that were recovered had juvenile justice system involvement, either current system involvement or prior system involvement. But one of the beauties about this particular operation was that we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every young person. So regardless of juvenile justice system involvement, all young people had the same opportunity to receive the recovery services that all the children had. And for that, we're eternally grateful to the mission and to the project. Every kid recovered by this operation is an opportunity. It's a chance, it's a touch point, it's a connection for that young person and the larger community. And maybe today will be the day that young person decides to make major changes in their life. Maybe today is not that day, but today, at least, that day of recovery, that day, we know that they're
guys.
We know that they're okay. We know they're safe. We know they had an opportunity. We know they had a good meal. We know that they had a chance to talk to people that can help them, and that is worth it. So thank you again to everyone. Thank you to the collaboration and partnership and coordination, and to all the agencies that are behind me. And together, this is not the last one. Together, we will continue to carry this momentum forward. Thank you.
We hope so, right? Now let's get all the pedos off the street and let's keep them off the street, guys, because these people that are involved in this, they need to use them as an example. They need to put these guys away, and not just for a short time where they can get back onto the street with their connections and go right back to, hey, how do I get that next kid? How's that coming? Did you, whatever, however it is that they work together, we got to keep them. We got to keep them off the street so that they can't just come right back into this operation. That is an operation, guys.
Thank you. Next, we've got Callahan Walsh from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
There it is. There it is, guys.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. First, I'd like to thank the U.S. Marshal Service and all the federal, state, and local agencies and nonprofit organizations that are involved in Operation Dragoneye. NCMEC was proud to support this operation by sharing case information, real-time analytical support, and background research on missing children in the region. During the course of this effort, we were able to identify at least 26 children recovered who had been previously reported missing to NCMEC, some of whom were flagged during and in advance in preparation before the operation even began.
That's crazy.
Thanks to the incredible coordination by the U.S. Marshal Service and its partners, more than 60 children were safely recovered across 3 counties. This is more than a number. It represents dozens of lives brought out of harm's way and a powerful testament to what can be accomplished through communication, collaboration, and data sharing. We're grateful to play a supporting role in efforts like these and remain committed to helping agencies across the country bring children home safely, because every child deserves a safe childhood. Now, in addition to my work at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I also co-host the television show America's Most Wanted alongside my father.
That's John Walsh's son, guys. Man, his hair got white. I watched some episodes of the new America's Most Wanted. Callahan. We love John Walsh and Callahan. We love the Walshes, right? Adam Walsh was taken from a shopping mall in Florida and beheaded, guys. He was decapitated. John Walsh's other son. Now, this is John Walsh's son as well. But if you didn't know about missing and exploited children from John Walsh, that's what happened. And that's why John Walsh started America's Most Wanted, because they were at the mall. I think they were in a Mervyn's or a Sears. And the son said, Dad, can I have some quarters to play my game? He played his game. They did their thing. He disappeared. They found him decapitated. All right. So there you go. Donate directly to help John Walsh, NCMEC, missingkids.org. That's what started it all. Okay, Sears. I didn't know if it was Sears or Mervin's. That's potato. He was kidnapped from a shopping mall and decapitated, right? That is how America's Most Wanted and John Walsh came to be. And there's his other son. Kudos to him.
Finding bad guys on TV is a great thing, but bringing home missing children, that's hitting the home run.
Yes, this is his
team here
other
behind
son.
me and out front brought home 60 missing children. It is incredible. It really
That's
is.
a
I hope
lot.
to see more of this in the future. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, we've got Lee Burkall, Tampa Police Department Chief.
Thank you, General. In the short time frame of this operation, alongside our partner agencies, our detectives assisted in locating and recovering, yes, again,
We're almost done, guys. Come
60
on, hit the
missing
like button.
runaway juveniles, and the arrest of 8 adults for human trafficking
go.
and interference with child custody. This operation is a powerful example.
So they recovered 60 children and 8 adults were arrested. I'm suspecting, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more arrests in the coming weeks. They have to cross their T's and dot their I's so they can have a solid case. I'm going to guarantee you that they got the 8 people that were at the forefront and the easy people to catch, but there's going to be higher aboves, all right, as the coming weeks move forward.
Example of the importance of collaboration and the tireless dedication of everyone involved in this operation, including the 6 from the Tampa Police Department Special Victims Unit.
People don't
Each
want me to
recovery
skip
and
it.
arrest is more than a statistic. It's a reminder of our shared commitment to protecting the most vulnerable among us. It's a reflection of the oath that we've all taken and the mission that we carry forward. Lastly,
Yep, I
if it
saw
hasn't
that.
already been made clear here today,
We
when it
showed
comes to
that.
protecting our most vulnerable, there are no boundaries between agencies, and that's very clear today. And there will be no safe haven for those that cause harm. This operation is a powerful example of the importance of collaboration. These arrests and recoveries should serve as a reminder of the Tampa Police Department's commitment to fighting and protecting for our most vulnerable. Thank you.
Come on, guys. Come on. You can do it. We're almost
Anthony
done.
Holloway, St. Petersburg PD.
Florida.
Good morning.
Nikki.
Thank you, General.
Florida.
Marshall. Without
Adam
the
Walsh,
Marshal
Florida.
and the Generals taking lead on this wouldn't be possible. So I also want to thank our federal, state, and local partners, because this shows everyone that here, not just in Florida, but in the Tampa Bay area, we are serious about recovering our children and making sure that we bring them home back safely. So the suspects that are out there, we're coming to get you. If you want to take our children, we're going to take you off our streets. I think we made it very, as you said from this morning, we were sending a message out to everyone that our federal, state, and local partners are working together to make sure we bring our children back home safely. And we're making sure that we take our suspects off the street. And as I said earlier, 60 is a big number. For the city of St. Petersburg, we had 11 on the list and we recovered 11. And again, that's thanks to all the hard work you've seen behind me, especially to the Marshal. So again, I want to thank you for that, sir. And I just want to end on this. As they say, the state of Florida is not going to be allowed. And I can tell you in the Tampa Bay area, we definitely will not allow it. So thank you.
All right, Tracy Cayley, Baycare Behavioral Health.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Now, there's a whole trafficking operation. Florida is one of the biggest. There's one of the states that has the biggest trafficking ring. So 60 children really isn't that much. How do they get them? Well, they're runaways. They imagine the group homes and foster care. There's so many children in group homes, foster care, maybe even that go into, juvenile detentions, things like that. I'm imagining it's not too hard. All right. Let's keep going. We want to get through to this. We're almost done here. And then we're going to give away 2 Foxy boxes. Now, Tiff, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if you're in chat, but come on in and show us if you can drop the link to some of that merch. That would be great. We have a bunch of new merchandise that Tiffany, she's our mod and she does the merch. So please drop the links in chat. All right, the guy before that talked really slow, so I sped it up.
To stand with all of you today in recognition of the great work that is done when communities come together. As others have stated, this unique coordination
you.
among
Thank
multiple
you.
agencies involved with the success of Operation Dragoneye was truly seamless, and Baycare is proud to have been a part of it.
Thanks,
This is
Sid.
the second year that Baycare has assisted the U.S. Marshals Service in providing medical and mental health services for youth recovered during a special operation. As the largest provider of pediatric and behavioral health services in the Tampa Bay area, Baycare is uniquely equipped to care for this vulnerable group of children. Together with our community partners, Redefining Refuge, Bridging Freedom, More to Life, we established a recovery hub at one of our Baycare locations with a vision of creating a safe and secure
too.
space in which to provide high-quality healthcare in a manner that was respectful and consenting. I am so proud of the tremendous care shown to these kids and of the countless Baycare team members, from our security personnel to our physicians, nurses, counselors, food and nutrition team, lab, and others who volunteered their time and talents to support
Almost
this
done,
important
guys.
mission.
Come on, hang in
I
there.
also want to thank the Department of Children and Families for their extraordinary efforts in securing safe housing for those who were rescued and for the work they do every day on behalf of endangered youth in our area. Through operations such as these,
There
we
she
bring awareness
is.
to child trafficking,
Tiff.
hold people accountable who would do harm, and show young survivors through our actions that there is hope. There are people who care, resources available, and a better future ahead. Thank you to all the agencies represented here today, and congratulations to the U.S. Marshal Service for a job well done.
And last but not least, Natasha Nascimento, Redefining Refuge.
All right, last but not least, baby. Last but not least, come on, get hyped up. We had 250 people at one point. There's still 200 people in chat. That's 200 people that get a chance to win a Foxy Bucks. Tiff just put up the Guilty of Crime merch link. We're also going to be giving away a tumbler that has a Bluetooth in it. I don't even know what that means, but thank you guys for continuing to be here. We are almost done, right? And then we're going to give those away. I won't forget this time. Thank you for being here, Tiff, even though you were vacuuming. We're almost done, guys. Come on.
Good morning, everyone.
Shorty.
I'm honored to be here to speak on behalf of Redefining Refuge and the children that we serve. And I'd just like to start by saying a huge thank you to our board of directors for the unwavering faith in our mission, and to my incredible team, to Addie Pena and Celeste Williams. You carry this work with so much grit and so much grace, and honestly, a courage that I think few people see, but that I know many children benefit
Hey,
from.
Rachel.
So thank you. Our organization had the privilege of providing trauma-informed supports, post-recovery services to children, and also the honor of hosting the centralized command post for all of these amazing people. And that is where this remarkable collaboration took place. And as you've heard from everyone here today, that's exactly what this was. It was a collaboration. It was a relentless coordination by agencies, by advocates, and by law enforcement, who all sort of got in a room together, and we just refused that the word missing was going to be the way that these children were remembered. You've heard a lot today about statistics and data, and I would like to close this press conference by sharing a story. And it's a story that I believe captures the heart of this mission. And it's probably a story that no statistic can ever measure. This US-led martial operation didn't just recover children, it recovered generations. And let me explain. Several children that were recovered during this operation were pregnant. One such child, a girl, barely beginning her own life, and yet she was carrying a life inside of her, the baby actually of her trafficker. And when she was brought to Baycare for medical assistance, and to one of my team members, Addie, who I've already mentioned, Addie had the great privilege of going with this child to get her very first ultrasound. She was in her second trimester of pregnancy, and she had never, ever heard the beating heart of her baby. And so the ultrasound began, and she heard her baby's heartbeat for the very first time. And she just began to weep. And all she said to Addie was, "My baby." But this moment awakened something in this child, and it shifted something in this child. And it was almost as though she realized that instead of just doing the soul-stretching work of surviving, she was willing to fight for the life that was inside of her. And so to every single person that is sitting in this room, to the officers who knocked on that door, you didn't just give our child a chance. You didn't just protect her. You protected her child. And now because of you, a baby has the opportunity to be born addiction free. This child was forced to use substances by her trafficker throughout her pregnancy.
See,
And
I
so
talked
a
about
baby
that.
gets to be born addiction free. A baby gets to be born to a mom who's not being sold every.
So important what she's saying, you guys. We barely touched on that, but like I said, these children that are being trafficked are going to come home and be addicted. Now, it's not a baby, but babies and children are all precious. They've all been a baby, and they're all precious and fragile and delicate. And that's what we need to start doing, right? If I could be out there like this lady, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be sitting behind a screen. I would be out there in person, standing with those people behind them and supporting them. I would love to be out there in the field doing this, and ultimately it'd be great. I'd be happy to be off of this platform and onto one where I'm actually physically helping children and people. All right, so let's keep going. You guys say a huge prayer. Yes, this lady's amazing.
Every day. And a baby gets to have a story that doesn't start with trauma, but that starts with recovery.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. So to everyone involved in this operation, again, you didn't just protect children, you protected their children. You didn't just, save one child, you saved generations. And I just want to say to Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price, thank you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for choosing this team. And just thank you for the reminder that when good people show up and a good God shows up, we can do some really remarkable things.
Yes.
So thank you.
Woo! That's what I would say to her.
All right. Well,
right.
that'll wrap us up here today. I think it's important that you hear from everybody because, as has been said multiple times, it's a full team effort. That's what we do here in Florida.
It's a team
Marshall,
effort,
I hope
guys.
Your wife takes you out to dinner tonight. You deserve it. Thank you, thank you, and then back to work. As I promised several months ago, we're going to go after every child predator we can find. If you want to prey on our kids, we will hunt you down. We will get you in this state. There's no tolerance for human trafficking.
Exactly.
We will use every resource we have to protect our kids. So with that, I think we have time for a few questions, and if I can't answer them, I'm sure the guys behind me can. Anybody? And we'll some will be available if there's follow-ups. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you guys for those of you that sat here and you listened and you watched and you let me talk to you and you let me intertwine the cases so that you know what happens, what the result of something that happens, like children that were trafficked. How did they get that way? What happens when they aren't recovered? And what happens when a money exchange of large cash sums happen? Who knows? Trafficking can happen. The racketeering definitely happens. And of course, the big M word. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I'm glad you're still listening. We're about to give away 2 Foxy boxes. Foxy, I don't know what the stipulations are today. I'm just going to start spinning. Let me know what the Foxy box giveaways are, what your terms are. I'm feeling so like good, and I'm feeling emotional right now about this whole thing. And I really do wish, and I hope that at some point I can be out there making a real difference. I love YouTube and I love the platform I'm on, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that just don't go with what's happening out there. I don't think people are out there bullying those people and blaming them for things that they never did. So I'm going to do the best I can here on this platform with you guys until it's time to move on to the next thing. All right, so let's go. We're going to give away some Foxy boxes. And I just had to say that while I had the chance to say that I want to make a difference in people's life, a big difference in people's life, not just sit behind a keyboard and stream stuff. Although it's good and it opens the door for these communications, I'd like to do more. All right. I just want you guys to know that. All right. So let's go. You're very welcome, Bree. I couldn't imagine covering anything else except for Claire Bell. Now we're going to start with today's stream. Foxy's going to tell me what the stipulations are, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick a winner from yesterday's stream that I didn't do, right? All right, let's go. I don't know who and what, so let us know, Foxy, okay? Let me know what the terms are to win. Okay, so U.S. members only, but what about do they have to be a member? So U.S. and members. Okay. All right, guys, this is for today. There's a Patricia Bryan. Now, let me know, guys. Patricia Bryan just won a Foxy box. All right, I love you too, Michelle, and all you that support the channel. All right, so members only with a U.S. shipping address. Is Patricia Bryan in chat? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you in the United States? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen, as long as you live here, you have an address here, and you have a green. All right, so she's not green. All right, we're going to spin it again, guys, and then I'll do yesterday's stream, okay? All right, so you do have to be a member because these things cost money. They cost a lot of money to put them together, and in order to support the channel, that's what we have to do. It's $2.99 a month to support the channel. Get yourself a membership. If it's not worth it to you, then you can get rid of it. All right. I'm sorry, Patricia, but I'm glad that you got to. I bet you were here for the stream. All right, come on, Queen, get green. All right, Cynthia Nicole Adams. I don't know if Cynthia. I can't tell by that. So you guys let me know. Cynthia, I did spin, guys. I did spin. All right. All right. I don't know about Cynthia. You guys let me know. But I did get a message from somebody that loved Scent's snail mail. So you can win Scent's snail mail. Is Cynthia? Okay. She's not a green anymore. All right. So the next one. All right. Yeah. I mean, it does cost a lot to put these things out, and we do give away a lot of stuff. I think we give away a lot more than many channels. All right. Thank you for becoming a member, Patricia. That's okay. You can do it this month. We're trying to give them away. Rachel, I think Rachel might be a member now. I think we might have gifted Rachel a membership. Let me know, guys. Let me know. And thank you guys that are becoming a member. You are absolutely able to win if you just became a member right now. All right, Bambi, you've been here a long time. Rachel Burton, I saw you. Sherry, I love you. Specifically, all right. Thank you, Patricia. All right, Rachel Burton, guys. I'm going to spin the next one. Rachel, are you a member? I think you're in the U.S. Dawn Grandma 3. All right, Rachel is a member. All right, then. Rachel's a member. We're going to move on. Rachel, you won a Foxy box. You have to go to guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. All right. I'm going to go back. You claim your prize with Guilty of Prizes. I'm going to go back to yesterday's stream, and I'm going to give away one from yesterday's stream. Now, you guys, if you were on yesterday's stream and you're not here today, it's your responsibility to claim your. All right. All right. So Rachel Burton won a Foxy box. Congratulations. Go to guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. Now I'm going to give away a last Foxy box. All right. And let's go. All right. Last one. This is from yesterday. And guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. You have to go ahead and do that. Good to see you, MM. I haven't seen you in a few. Well, I maybe seen you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't talked to you since last week, I think. All right, Rachel Burton, congratulations. Guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. Rachel, you want a Foxy box? Heidi Christine 5. That was from yesterday, guys. I don't know how you want me to go about that, but Heidi Christine 5, one from yesterday. Foxy Amazon, do you have that noted? Okay. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tiff. I got your message. All right. We did yesterday's. What do you want me to do, guys? All right. Rachel, congratulations. Foxy, Heidi, Christine 5. If she doesn't claim that in the next 3 days, then we'll go ahead and give it away. All right, everyone. Next time my babies are having a fit, I need to go too. I'm hungry. My stomach's burning. I just finished grocery shopping and I haven't got to eat yet. So thank you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, get a membership, gift membership. Thank you for supporting the channel. This was a very good topic today to share with you guys, and it was very uplifting. All right, it was very uplifting. 60 missing children in Florida saved, largest child trafficking rescue in U.S. history. That's a big deal. Okay, so she wasn't in green. Michelle says you give away more than, I think we do give away more than any channel. Foxy, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more, guys. I'm gonna do one more. She was not in green. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and hopefully somebody that's here and in green will win. So she was not a member. We're serious when we say you have to be a member. So good night. Love you guys. Motivating. Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening. We're giving away a Foxy box from yesterday. Don's track 5410. I have no idea, guys. All right. I don't know who Don's track 5410 is. And Jules, yes, please, can we email you about a case? My email is right down there. All right. It's guilty of crime. Look at that. Guilty of crime by j@gmail.com. Email me with case suggestions. Send me what you can. All right. Are we good now, guys? Are we good? I don't know Don's track either, but you told me to do it from yesterday. So I need to know if you guys want me to do it again. Is it from yesterday or today, guys? Come on. Good night, everybody. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Do you guys want one more? Because it's not going fast enough. All right. One more. No. Okay. One more. I'm hungry. So I'm going to do one more. And if we don't get it, guys, then I'm going to leave because I'm hungry. All right. I love you guys though. I should have ate before I came on here though. Right? I got off of work, came home, grocery shopped, and then I came on here. All right. 2, 1, and I don't know who that is, but Tokima, Toci Ma. All right. Love you guys. Sherlock, homegirl. I love that name. Yes, I'm hungry. I'm not even hot. I'm not complaining about being hot. All right. So they're not green too. Should I just do tonight's, guys? Come on. Cynthia, you are not green. That's the problem. You are not a guilty of crime member. Yes, clap it. I'm like, yay. I'm so excited. I wanted to be in the crowd there. I wanted to be in the crowd, all right? All right, guys. I think we're going to, I'm going to just use my judgment and run today's episode. I'm going to do that because it seems like we're just wasting time here. All right, so I'm just going to run today's again. Nobody was in green from yesterday. We're going to run this one more time. Don't leave. Please don't leave. Or my mods are going to track me down and hurt me. You should see my chat. It's blowing up on my phone. I'm afraid of these people. Just kidding. Just kidding. I love my mods. I love you guys. Love you ladies. All right, here we go. We're doing one more for today, guys. Come on. We're doing it for today because nobody seems to be here from yesterday. All right, come on. No, Rachel Burton won twice. Can't win twice. Let's go back. Somebody's got luck today, boy. Somebody's got luck. Today was a good day. I didn't even have to use my AK. Today was a good day. You guys wonder when I say I don't have to use my AK, do you wonder if I actually have an AK? You should wonder if I have an AK. You should, because I'm a collector. All right. Roxanne Alday. Roxanne Alday. Roxanne Alday. Let's go. All right. I don't know if Roxanne's a member, but guys, I'm getting hungry. If Roxanne's not a member and I did whatever, blah, 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 we're going to have to re-give that away tomorrow. All right? I'm going to have to give that away tomorrow. I'm just trying to have you guys guess which GUNs does Jay have? I have lots of them, but which ones do I have? I didn't even have to use my AK. Today was a good day. I'll just keep you guys guessing. I'm not going to tell you. All right, guys. Roxanne, if you're here, if you heard, reach out to guilty of crime or guilty of prizes at gmail.com. I do. I'm a collector. And I also am a shooter. I'll tell you what, I can hit a body shot real good. All right. I'm good at body shots. All right. There you go. The ones on your arms. Yeah. No. I have real GUNs. All right, guys. So she's not a member. My goodness. The people just want me to be hungry today. Okay. She's not green. All right, guys. I know. The chances are slimming. Which means better for you guys. All right. Watch. It's going to go to Wyatt. And Wyatt can't get mail. All right. I can't have baby guilty in here anymore. That wasn't baby guilty earlier. That was the wife. That was wife guilty. Okay, One Love Revolutionary, please tell me that you're a member. One Love. Now, One Love's mom loves me, Jay from Guilty of Crime, I'm pretty sure. So One Love, are you a member, One Love? Please tell me you are. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done. Come on. Anybody? All right. Nope, One Love's not. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You guys want me to be hungry. You want me to go in there and devour the whole kitchen because I'm hungry. And then you want my stomach to hurt because I ate everything. I don't really do that. All right. You're not. Well, how are you not a member, One Love? How are you not a member? All right. The honey badger don't give a fuck. All right. If Lori Honey Badger is not a member, then I'm going to give it to Sherlock Homegirl for having the best name of today. Roxanne, you weren't a member. I love the Honey Badger. You know why? Because the Honey Badger don't give a fuck. I won't even say the whole thing. Honey Badger don't give up, and she's badass. So Lori Honey Badger don't give up is a member, and I'm going to say she's in the United States. Congratulations to Lori Honey Badger don't give up. She's a badass. Please email guiltyofprizes@gmail.com and get your Foxy box. All right. So there we go. I love you guys. Thank you for staying here. I'm going to go eat. All right. And you guys can all guess if I really have an AK because today was a good day and I didn't have to use it. All right, guys. I love you and I'm out of here. Come back tomorrow, everybody. I'll see you then. And One Love, become a member. All right. Because I'd like to send you a gift. Peace out, guys. Love you all. See you tomorrow.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?